Are you dealing with a narcissist and want to know what their favorite phrases are to use for gaslighting? By the end of this video, you're going to know how to spot it and then be wise to them when they try to use it on you. Hi, I'm Rebecca Zung. I have been recognized as one of the top 1% of attorneys in the country, and I have written 2 best-selling books. They are Negotiate Like You Matter and Breaking Free, a Step-by-Step Divorce Guide, and I've helped thousands of people just like you go from lives of drama, trauma, and chaos to step into lives of freedom, possibility, and purpose. And I do the same thing for you on this channel, in these videos, and my resources. So please subscribe if you haven't already, because it will help you with free resources to escape the clutches of that toxic person that you are dealing with. So subscribe, hit that notification bell. So let's talk about gaslighting. One of the narcissist's favorite little go-to bag of tricks. And it's almost like they need to do it. They're like compelled. It's like a way of life for them. So gaslighting is a form of, manipulation. It's a psychological form of manipulation to try to get control over you and try to make you think that you are crazy. And they use it in a lot of different ways, and especially in negotiating. When they are dealing with somebody during a discard phase, it really comes up quite a lot. So I have seen it a lot in my law practice. And so if you are negotiating with a narcissist in any way, shape, or form, whether it's in a divorce, a business partnership, or maybe it's even a family member, a neighbor, or somebody who used to be your friend, then you will see these phrases and these signs of gaslighting coming up in some shape or form, because they're actually pretty predictable. Even though narcissists are like really heinous to deal with, they're actually fairly predictable as far as their personality type. They kind of all act the same. You see it, a lot of people that are in my private Facebook group are talking about it, thinking, wow, do they have all the same playbook? I've heard people say that. It's amazing. It's like we're talking about the same person. If you want to know more about the private Facebook group and you want to join us, it's called Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. But they have, favorite gaslighting phrases that they use and also tactics that they use. And if you want to know more about gaslighting tactics, you should check out my video on gaslighting tactics, and we'll make sure we drop a link to that below. But on this video, we're going to focus mostly on the types of phrases that they use in order to gaslight you. So if you hear any of these phrases, you're going to know, okay, this person is trying to gaslight me. And if you are the target of gaslighting, you're probably starting to feel anxious, feel traumatized, feel like you're going crazy, like you can't think straight. You start to lose confidence in yourself. You start to think, you just can't do anything right. It spills over into other areas of your life, not just in dealing with that narcissist, but other areas of your life as well. You don't have the confidence to negotiate or do anything that you want to try to do. I mean, it spills over even into other relationships, your personal life, your business life, everything. You just are so anxious. You can't think straight. You feel powerless, paralyzed sometimes, and that's what the result is of constant gaslighting, because that's what they want. They want you to feel that way. They're manipulating you. Okay, so the first phrase that they use is, "You're crazy and need help." So when you try to bring things up, you try to point something out about the narcissist, you try to say, you know, what you did was wrong. You know, especially covert narcissists, they do these little passive-aggressive things, you know, and constantly make you feel like you're the one who's crazy when you try to bring it up. And they sometimes the things that they do are so small, so little. I've said this example before, but there was an example of a husband who, you know, used to stop at Starbucks all the time, and he would get out of the car and ask the wife if she wanted anything, and then he would get back in the car and have only his coffee and not what she had asked for, and she'd say, "Oh, what happened to mine? Oh, sorry, I forgot." And, you know, he would like just drive away. And, you know, that's the kind of thing, like, if you bring it up, it's like, "Oh, you're just so crazy. You know, it was inadvertent. I didn't mean it." And sometimes these things are so small that, you know, it's like you think to yourself, well, am I going to blow up a marriage over this? Or if I tell people, do they think I'm sounding petty? Like, you know, but it's this constant little drip, drip, drip on your forehead, where, you know, you just feel like you're going insane. Or I've heard the term death by 1,000 cuts. That's another way that you can describe it. It's like, just like little by little, you're just being cut to pieces. So that's the first one. You're crazy and you need help. So nice, very charming, very charming. The second one is you're just insecure and jealous. So, you know, this is the one where you found texts on the phone with somebody that they work with and it seems kind of flirtatious, or, you know, you see pictures where someone else is wearing his jacket, or, you know, they seem to be a little too chummy at work and maybe they're talking about stuff that they shouldn't. You know, you're just starting to see these little signs of things that don't seem right. They don't add up. And, you know, you're just insecure and jealous. I actually had a client one time who had followed her husband to a hotel with this other woman. She actually saw them go into the hotel. She even had the credit card receipt that showed that they had gotten a room at the hotel. They were in there for like an hour, and then they came out of the hotel room, and she told me that he said nothing happened in the hotel. They just talked. So, and she was like, wanting to know if she should believe him. And I honestly don't have any judgment about that, because you know what? She had probably lived with such gaslighting for so many years that she really didn't know what to believe anymore, even if it's so obvious to the rest of the world. Because, you know, he told her, you're crazy, you're jealous, you're overreacting. And so she was questioning whether or not she really was, because that's gaslighting. It makes you question your own sanity. The next one is, it was just a joke. So they say something like super mean, like, oh, you walk really funny, or the way you chew is weird, or something like that. Oh, I was just joking. It was just, oh, can't you just take a joke? You're so serious. What's wrong with you? When they say like hurtful things, oh, ha, that was really supposed to be just funny. You can't take a joke? Oh, you know, obviously, you know, you're just you're super stiff, and there's something wrong with you. And if you are so ready to fight back against that narcissist gaslighting, give me a fight back in the comments. The next one is, I never said or did that. I never said that. I never did that, even though they clearly said or did that. Even if you have proof, even if you have emails, you know, whatever it is, they just changed that. I never said that exactly. I had a client one time who his soon-to-be ex-wife said that you know, if he didn't do what she said that she wanted him to do, that she was going to contact the authorities. And he wrote back and said something like, you know, there's no reason to threaten that you're going to call the cops. And she wrote back and said, I never said I was calling the cops. I said I would contact the authorities. And so clearly, you know, that's just like changing it. I never said that, even though that's exactly what she said. And she knew that that's what she wanted him to think that she meant. And so she just changed it. You know, so that's a really, really good example of gaslighting. Last one is my favorite because, you know, when you're dealing with them and negotiating, it's, you know, something you see all the time, which is moving the goalposts. And you see that in negotiation where they constantly, you know, you're trying to resolve the issue and, you know, you finally like agree to whatever it is that they are offering. And now all of a sudden, that's no longer on the table. You have to go and renegotiate it again, and they make it your fault that the deal has changed. And if you want to know more about moving the goalposts and what that looks like, definitely check out my video on how narcissists move goalposts. So moving the goalposts is one of the things that narcissists do in negotiating quite a lot. If you are ready to negotiate with the narcissist from a place of power, make sure to grab my free Crush My Negotiation Prep Worksheet. It is an ebook. It is totally free. You just go to winmynegotiation.com to grab that. If you like this video, give me a like, give it a share, drop me a comment, say fight back, and or whatever it is that you're dealing with gaslighting tactics in dealing with that narcissist in your life. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and that way you'll get notified when I upload brand new content. I am so glad that you stopped by my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. Here is where you're going to get actual step-by-step guidance to actually break free from that narcissist in your life in a way that allows you to get the fair settlement that you are entitled to. So thanks so much for stopping by. Remember, today's a great day to start negotiating your best life. I'll see you in the next video.